Hi, it's Marielle and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be starting my new health and wellness planner. I have tried to make these over the years and I just kept stopping. I would start and stop and start and stop. I've used a variety of things. I've never tried to do it in a bullet journal, but here we are. I'm trying it again because I think it's so important. If you don't know me, I am 56 years old. And I've had some chronic health issues over the years, along with some trauma, which can really play a role in all of that. I'm tired of having chronic pain. I'm tired of worrying about my health, and it's time for me to take charge. So I am determined to have a better mindset and age well. This is an Archer and Olive notebook. I think this is absolutely adorable. I will link this for you. They do still have it available in sizes B6 and A5. This is a B6. I like it because it's bigger and I just like a lot of room when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So anyway, it's super cute. Look, have a nice day. So we are going to start. Look how cute. So I don't like how this is hard to deal with, this page, because it's attached to this page. Probably what I'm going to do is glue these together, but not yet. So what this journal is going to be for me is basically just some trackers and some general pages that we'll talk about. But my goal is to kind of take it along with me throughout like the years, because it's really thick and I really don't want to use a bunch of different journals for one thing. That's what I'm doing in my reading journal as well. I'm just gonna every year just make a new yearly page if I stick to it, and let's hope I do this time. So the first thing I'm gonna do, and I will decorate this page later if I decide to, but I knew this video was gonna be really long as it is, so let's just start here. And what we're gonna do is this will be like the yearly page. Let me just talk about the pages I'm gonna make really quick, and then we'll start. This is gonna be a yearly page that has yearly goals. This is gonna be what's my why, because everyone should have a why. You should have a reason you're doing things for your health. I mean, obviously you wanna be healthy, but more specific reasons that keep you motivated. This one is gonna be measurements. And then we're going to start, actually, maybe a meal idea page before, maybe a couple meal idea pages, actually. I'm not sure about that yet. But then we're going to go into July. So July is when I started a challenge with my Patreon members. We have a little challenge chat over there where we're trying to like lift each other up and support each other in our health goals for July. So I will have a July health goal page and then also a July tracker page for those, or pages for those particular goals. So let's get started on our yearly page. I think it's really important to have yearly goals. I didn't start this in January, and that's okay. I'm trying to get away from the all or nothing thing, which I've always done my whole life and has not worked. This year I've been gradually introducing, well, actually, let me start this while I talk to you, or we're just going to look at blank pages the whole time. I have some washi tape here. This is from a pack of pastel washi tapes from Live Love Posh. I'll link everything I use for you in the description box. But I thought maybe I would do some stripes with the year. Actually, let's write the year first. Okay, I'm going to be using an 𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘠 marker in the color olive green. And I know that what you're thinking, like olive green and this. The reason being, I'm going to be using this sticker book. I'm not going to be putting a ton of stickers in here because I don't want this book to get too bulky. But I do love stickers and I want to include some in here. So in this book, we have like these colors combined with the olive green, and I think it's going to go with the stickers. And hopefully if I keep this up, then every year will be sort of the same color palette. I mean, it'll be a different color palette every year. I'm not too concerned in this particular notebook, making it super cute and super intricate and all of that. My goal for this book is to just get the stuff down on paper and track things. I'm going to try to make it cute, but just a disclaimer, I know like what you're used to with me is super decorative. This probably isn't going to be that, because what's most important is function for me right now. My reason for saying that is I'm not going to measure or anything. I'm just going to like wing this and do the year at the top of the page. Perfectly imperfect. I think what I was saying before is I was talking about the all or nothing thing. So my whole life has been like that, all or nothing, right? I'm either trying to get fit or I'm doing absolutely nothing, or I'm eating well or I'm eating like trash. And I need to break that cycle because I'm feeling it in my body and I'm too old for that now. And so my purpose for starting in July is that I don't want to wait until January. I don't want to, you know, I'm not even like worried about Mondays anymore. I'm really trying to break those habits because it's just, it's not good for me. Also with habit tracking, you might have seen me start and stop and start and stop different habit trackers and all. And it is because I take on too much at once, I think. And it's funny, I was talking about this with my patrons. I actually, how am I going to fit all these stripes in? I might only use 3 colors. When I start habit trackers and stuff like that, I am fully 100% convinced that I'm going to use it and I'm going to do all these habits every time. It's not like I'm making it up. It's not like I'm trying to make it look like for social media that I'm doing all of these things and look at me, look at all my great habits and how wonderful I am. It's not about that at all. But what it is, and I don't know if this is ADHD or just being a normal human being, but I really, really believe when I make trackers, habit trackers and stuff, I get very excited. And I truly believe that I'm going to complete all of these things. And I don't know why I believe that, because it never fails that I don't. So this year has been a little bit different so far for me than in the past. I haven't talked about my habits much on YouTube, and I haven't made any trackers because I'm trying to do things a little bit differently and not like focus on it so much or something. I have been focusing on it a lot. I guess like I just haven't wanted to put it out there because number one, I'm afraid that I'm going to put it out there and not do it again, you know. But the other thing is I've been gradually adding in things this year without writing them down or anything. Not having a specific plan for every single thing in my life, because in the past I've always had to have like a certain health plan. Like I can't start until I, you know, make sure I know exactly what I'm going to eat. I have the exact workout plan and all of that. And I still have those tendencies, but I think it's going to be better this year because I have gradually added in stuff without planning it too much over the past like 4 months. And we'll talk about that. But let me keep going on this first. I guess this is just gonna say goals here. So why don't I go ahead and do that? I'm gonna use a Pigma Micron size 1. And again, I'm not like worried about centering so much. I'm just doing it. And that is that. Does not look great. That S is really messed up, but we're just gonna go with it. 2024 goals. Okay. So I'm wondering if I use like a couple of box stickers for these. I like these. What if I were to like put washi tape in the middle and separate it so that these have something to sit on, and then I use like 4 of these. Are there other colors? No. I think I could do that though. Okay, so we have the 4 colors. I'm going to put the pink down below so the pink isn't on the pink line. Let's see. And I'm going to put the green down below. No, I'm not, because we have two blues. Okay. I'll put the green here. I'm just trying to figure out where. Okay, let's just do it like right here. And that's crooked. Cool. Oh, it came up easy. Probably the washi tape is crooked because now that's straight. That's okay. Let's see. We'll do pink there. So we're going to do light blue up here. Okay, so we have those two. And then we'll put the pink, see the blue here, right? I don't know, then you got light and light, dark and dark. Maybe we do it this way. I know there's two blues on top of each other, but it's okay. Okay, I think I need another stripe there, just for interest. Or in here, there's like these. Ooh, this might be pretty. Let's see how this would look. Uh-oh, I thought that was all one piece. Oh, it is. It ripped. Come on, Happy Planner, why? Yeah, let's put this across. I think this would be cute. It's hard for me to decorate bullet journals because they're like bound, you know? I'm so used to being able to take pages out. Now I have to deal with like the book itself. Let's talk about my yearly goals. When you're making goals, it's really important that they be measurable. There is one goal here that really isn't, but we'll talk about that. So the first goal is going to be strength training for an entire year. Now, I recognize, and that's 3 days a week. So I joined a new gym where I have this personal training program, and I prepaid for a year. And you might think that's crazy because anything could happen. Well, they do have, like, if you get hurt or something, you can have a doctor's note and then they extend it. But the reason I prepaid was, number one, to save some money, because I did save some. But the main reason I prepaid is I needed motivation to keep this up for an entire year. Now, my ultimate goal is to keep it up for the rest of my life. However, that seems very overwhelming for me. So I'm setting a goal for a year to go 3 times a week, unless I'm on vacation or unless I get hurt in some way or I am sick, in which case then I wait and rest until I get better. That is my first goal. How am I going to write this? Consistent workouts all year. And then I'm going to get another pen that's smaller. This is a Muji 0.38 pen. And I'm going to just write 3 times per week. And most fit's going to be strength training. I'm going to try to get more steps in. I've been walking a lot, but none of these goals are related to aerobic because I really want to focus on strength and building muscle that I've lost. And then we'll reevaluate next year and then maybe work on more aerobic exercise. But for now, this is my primary concern. 3 days per week of strength training. I've been reading a lot about how muscle is just so important as we age, and I have lost quite a bit of muscle over the years. I'm about 10 years postmenopausal at this point. I kind of went through that early, and actually almost 11 years actually, and I have lost a lot of muscle, and I used to think I have some disease. I thought I had a muscle disease because I do have twitches and things. But I think what's going on is menopause plus trauma equals muscle loss. And I don't want to just accept this as part of my life, because if you don't have enough muscle, you know, you're more likely to get diseases, you're more likely to become frail as you age, have falls, break bones, have low bone density, all that kind of stuff that is crucial as we age. So this is really important to me, and I'm annoyed with myself that I didn't do anything until now, but it's never too late to start, no matter how old you are. Okay, my second goal has to do with nutrition, because you can't possibly have a strength training program and not focus on nutrition. I mean, I guess you can, but you're not going to get the kind of results that you want, and it's not good for you. So I've been really good on nutrition the last few months. I've had it kind of dialed in, but I learned recently that I need a lot more protein than I thought. So I'm working on getting lots of protein in, and we'll talk about that later. But my main goal here is to stick to a nutrition program for a whole year, meaning without falling off and saying, oh, I messed up, I'll start again next month, or I messed up, I'll start in January. Or like, oh, I ate a cookie, there goes my whole day, I'm just going to eat whatever I want the rest of the day. Like, my goal is to be consistent. Now, that is with an 80-20 rule. And that means 80% dialed in, 20% fun. You know, I believe in everything in moderation, and I can't deprive myself of all the goodies in the world, because then I will binge, then I will fail. So we are allowing for some of that in here. Stick. And this is like counting my macros and all of that, which, you know, we can talk about, but it's basically making sure I get the right nutrients, making sure that I have, you know, approximately the right amount of calories and not under eating and things like that. So, and I'm not going to be like crazy about tracking all year, but at least in the beginning, I do need to track so that I can like figure out what's the best, how much food, you know, to put in my body, and like what kinds of foods are going to give me the most protein, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to write prioritizing protein plus 80-20 rule. Okay, and then the two goals down here, the one goal I'm kind of cheating and combining it into two. Not cheating, but I only have 4 spaces. I wanted something measurable. So these things are great, right? But I want something to strive for. This is good. This is like good habits, but I wanted something measurable that I could strive for. The first part of this is to gain 4 pounds of muscle. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're postmenopausal, if you're a woman in your 50s, 60s and above, putting on muscle is incredibly difficult. And we just don't have the hormones and all that to support it. It's just much harder as you age. I was going to say 5 pounds, but I think 4 pounds is actually really a big goal even. And I can track this because in my gym they have an in-body scale which measures like your body fat, your muscle mass, and like all these other stats. And so they can tell me how much muscle I've gained. And I think they do it like every 3 months to check. So that's the first part of this. And I don't know if that's like realistic for me. I don't know, because I do have injuries. So I have like I have shoulder bursitis, and I have like a knee issue. I have a wrist issue. Some of these things I think will resolve once I get stronger, but my shoulder, I don't know. So I don't know if 4 pounds of muscle for me is even realistic. That's just kind of a guess, because years ago I went to another personal training gym and I looked at my old in-body pages, and I had gained 3 pounds of muscle in 8 months. So, and that was in 2019. And then I quit right after that, I think, which is why I said I haven't been consistent for a year, since like 2014 probably. But I think it's possible. So hopefully more than 4 pounds, but I want to try to be realistic. I want to try to have realistic goals. And so that, and then have a specific goal that I'm sure I'll be able to reach within a year, but I wanted to put this down because I can't do a push-up like on my toes. I cannot. It is very difficult for me. And so my goal is to be able to do a full push-up, and I hope I'll be able to do, 5-10 push-ups, but I'm trying to be realistic again. I just want to be able to do a push-up, because for me that means I'm getting stronger. Like, that equals strength, so that is what I'm going to put down here. Actually, I'll write that in the other pen. I know that people who see that are going to be like, a push-up in a year, I mean, not everybody would think that, but for me and my age and my muscle tone right now, like, that's a big goal for me. Okay, and then the last one really is the one that I don't think is very measurable, and that is improve on my posture. I guess if I wanted to, I could say, like, have my head go back 1 inch, or, measure my shoulders or whatever. But what I'm doing is taking progress photos, and I'll be able to tell from those. I'll also be able to tell from just how I feel on a regular basis. Even losing a little bit of weight, I lost like 10 pounds over the past 4 months, and starting to walk a lot and starting the strength training, I have noticed already that my posture is a little bit better, but maybe I'm just being more intentional about it. But I think if I improve my core strength and my back strength and my shoulders and everything's going to kind of come together and be able to support me better. So that's kind of my goal. And I think I'm just going to go off how I feel and the way I look in photos. Okay, so those are my 4 main goals, or 5 if you count that, for 2024. Now we're going to make my why page, and I think making a what's your why page is an extremely important part of setting goals, because you need to know why you're doing this. You need to know why you're doing it, so that you are more motivated during the day when you just want to sit on the couch and eat cake and watch Netflix. You need to think of these things, really concrete examples of why you're doing this. So I'm going to take this pen and just in the middle of the page write why, and then maybe I'll put like some box stickers and write in some things. Yeah, I guess I'll do this. And I guess I'm going to do the same thing, put some stripes there. Let's put the blue on the top first. I could use these. That would be kind of cool. Actually, I think I'm going to use these ones because these are rounded. I kind of want a different look on this side. So maybe I just sort of put them around the page like this. I'm gonna write those in a second, but first let's like put a couple little stickers right there. Maybe quotes. It says live your best life, and just put it right here. And then we'll do something up there. How about this one that says it's the simple joys, but I'm gonna cut out that squiggle around it. I don't really want that on there, so I'm just gonna take that off. Cut right into my sticker book. I know, it's horrible. You don't have to take the stickers as they are on the page. Okay, so my main reason for doing this is so that I can grow old and not be sick and just be healthy as I age. And that's a real motivator for me at this point. It's funny how your motivations change. You know, when I was younger, it was all about looking good, but now I want to be strong. So the first goal here, so that I can age well and be a strong old lady. So that's like my future self, right? I picture my future self, and I don't want her to be frail and hunched over. I want her to be strong. I mean, I saw some women online. I went down a deep dive and looked into like women in their 70s and 80s who had been, even who started strength training in their 50s or 60s, who were amazing and so much stronger than me. So I want to be like them. I want to be that strong little old lady with the muscles. I just really do. So that's my my main motivation. The other one is so I can feel better and have less aches and pains, because right now I have a lot of them, a lot. I want to feel better. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to constantly be, I had to cancel plans for Chicago because my sciatica got so bad. Like I had to actually cancel a flight because my back hurt. And that's just not okay with me. It's not okay. And so I want to feel better. The next one is so that my kids don't have to take care of me until I'm very, very old. Very, very old, or never. I don't want to burden them with that. I don't want them to have to take care of me. Now, of course, things happen, okay? Like, I'm not saying that me doing all this stuff is going to prevent me from getting cancer or other diseases. I'm really not saying that. And also, disclaimer, like, take all of this as just informational, entertainment. Like, none of the stuff that I'm saying is going to be like don't think I'm giving you health advice or anything like that, because that's not what this is about. I'm just explaining my thought process and my goals and what I'm doing. That does not mean you should take it as advice. You know, you should talk to your doctor, and everyone's bodies are different and all that. So just wanted to put that out there. But so I'm not saying I won't get these things, because you can be super healthy and come down with cancer, you know. So my kids, you know, would they maybe have to take care of me at some point? Maybe. I hope not. But my point of doing this is so that I can do everything I possibly can so that it's less burden on them. Stay healthy for my kids. And if there's any motivator that's important, it's like for my kids, you know. They've been through a lot. And I don't want them to have to take care of me. I also don't want to get sick. And I want to try to avoid getting sick and dying early, because of course, I want to live, but also I want them to have me for as long as possible, because they've been through a lot of loss. So that my kids are one of my main goals, really. I mean, one of my main motivators. The next one is so that I can have strong bones. I do not want to get osteoporosis, and the less muscle I have, the more likely that is to happen. It might already have started happening. I don't really know, because I haven't gotten a bone density test. They don't recommend it until you're in your 60s, so I don't know. But I want to strengthen my bones so that I can be active with my grandchildren, and just in general, really. But I'm going to be a grandma in November, and my daughter is having a baby, and she's having a baby boy, and baby boys are a lot of energy, right? Little boys have a lot of energy, and the way my body feels right now, if I don't do something about this, then I'm trying to imagine myself in 2-3 years when this kid is a toddler running around and I'm trying to keep up and I can't, or he wants to do something and I can't do it. You know, I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, oh, sorry, grandma can't do that. Or Mimi, that's going to be my name. Mimi can't do that because, you know, my knees hurt or whatever. Like I want to be able to play with them and take them places where I can be active with them, and also encourage them like to grow up actively and not be sedentary and not be unhealthy, and you know, practice good nutrition with them and all of those things that are so important to start habits with, you know, when your kids are little. I want to be a good example for them. So that's really important to me. And then the very last one, you guys, the very, very last one, which is so low on my list at this point, is to look better. Of course I want to look better, but that's like a byproduct. That's a side effect of all these other things. That's a nice to have, right? I like the thought of me having good posture and having good muscle tone and being slim and all that kind of stuff, but that is the lowest motivator on this list, but I am going to put it because, of course, I want to look better. Okay, so those are my whys. I think each of them means a lot to me. It's very important. So let me know in the comments, like, if you are someone who is working out and, you know, having like this healthy journey or whatever, like, what's your why? I'd like to know what your why is. All right, let's keep going. This is a very long video. I might have to break it out into 2 parts. I'm not sure. This next page is going to be for measurements. I was going to do 1 page, but I think I want to track my measurements over time on 2 pages so that I have more room for more measurements. So what I'm going to do is write measurements at the top here, and since I don't feel like figuring out exactly where to start to make it centered, what I do sometimes is I write it out in the same pen I'm using on another piece of paper, and then I like just center it by sight, and then I'll take a pencil and like mark where to start and where it ends. It's not going to be a total, you know, exact measurement, but it's just going to be enough so that it looks halfway decent. I'm just going to mark it there and then mark it there. Okay, we're going down about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so about here. So then when I do this, I basically kind of keep this on the page to look at, to just sort of give me an idea of, you know, how big to make the letters and stuff so that it's kind of even. Like I said, it's not, well, it's not exact, but it's good enough. The letters tend to get smaller as I go along. I don't know why that is. I'm thicker, so I have to be careful of that. But like I said, it's not going to be exact, but that's not too bad. Okay. So now, since we did like a lot of stripes over here, let's continue with that and do stripes here. Thinking I'm going to actually use a pink pen for some of this, so I'm not going to use the pink. I am going to continue with this, but let's put maybe the yellow first and then the other 2, just to vary it from the other page. A lot of people will draw a body on here, like the shape of a body. I'm not going to go into that, all the trouble of that. We're just going to do a strict measurement page. I am going to take some stickers though, maybe some flowers or something, and put it on here. What I'm doing now is just sort of counting the dots to see how big to make my words. I'm just going to make them fall within these lines and then make lines across. Wait, I'll show you. Actually, before, I should probably start a little bit lower because up here I want to have room for date. Let's write date right here. And then I think rather than take, because I'm going to use pink here to like do lines across for all the measurements, but rather than do that up here, I want to do something different for the dates. So I think what I'm going to do, I guess I'll just do black lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 dots. I think that's going to be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 dots for each. I'm not using a ruler, I don't care that much. And then I know that there's this middle part, but I didn't space it out the right way. That's okay. I'm just going to keep going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I took 2 spaces there. Wait, oh no. Okay, let me just wipe that out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I wish I had 12 because then I could do one every month for a whole year. But I could put a little bit at the end. Why not? Okay, so there are 12 spaces, 1 for every month. So that means I'll measure myself every month to see my progress. Now what I'm going to do for each one, first neck, chest, left arm, right arm, waist, hips, left thigh, right thigh, left calf, right calf, and then we're going to have a space for weight and also waist to hip ratio. So as women age, we gain belly fat, and like if you are older than say 50, even older than 40, you're going to notice that a lot of your weight starts going into your stomach area, and that can be like visceral fat around your organs. So aside from, your looks, which doesn't look great, I've had it, you can be super thin too and still have like a lot of your weight in the middle. And so, but besides looks, it's just not good for your health to have like all your weight in the middle. So I'm going to be calculating my waist hip ratio as I go along. Now I'm also going to be having, like I said, in-body measurements at the gym every 3 months or so, but those are like, I'm going to have on a separate sheet. I might actually put them in here somewhere, but for now, we're just going to go with these kinds of measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and write weight here. And weight is actually not the thing I'm too concerned with, just because I'd rather see my measurements change and my body, like I'm looking for like body recomposition rather than weight loss. And I'm at a healthy weight right now. So I'm just curious though to see what happens to my weight, because I'm assuming my weight will go up as I gain muscle. I'm hoping my weight will go up. I'm just more interested to see what's going to happen with my weight. It's not like I'm too concerned with it. And then hip to waist ratio, or is it waist to hip? I don't know. I'm just going to write waist hip. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do for each month is take this and we are just going to do little lines. So like that. That's where I'm going to write in the numbers. So I'll take a moment and do all of these. Did I mention this is a Tombow dual brush pen? The color is 772. It's like my favorite color from them because it's like just such the perfect pink. What I should have done on this side is write these in again, but since I didn't do that, I am going to abbreviate them here in this open space, just so that I don't have to like go all the way across and follow it to find out which one I'm doing. So I'm just going to abbreviate it. So we're going to do NC. That's just for my reference so that I can track it across. So now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, that made me sort of dizzy at the end. Not dizzy, but my eyes were bugging out because of all of these lines, and I know it's a lot. We don't have a lot of room for stickers. I did want to do stickers, but I think maybe we can put a couple of little flowers down there or something. Like these maybe, would they fit? Maybe. Or maybe just line of this would be good. Uh-oh, why is this doing it? Oh, that's frustrating. There's like a weird cut in this book. I wonder if this will do that one too. No, this one's okay. Okay, so that is my measurement page. I'm going to fill this out on my own. I don't have my measurements yet, and I don't really want to put my measurements out on the internet, really. I mean, I could, but it's a little weird. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here for part 1. This video is going to be really, really long, so let's just make this part 1, and then in part 2, I'm going to come back in and do the rest with you, like the July, actually meal ideas, July tracker page, and July goals. So I think so far so good. We're off to a good start. If you like this video, please click like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos and see how this progresses. All right, take care. Bye.